This is my first time watching Full Metal Alchemist, and I gotta say, this shit is fire as fuck. Like, real shit. Why the fuck is these niggas so fucking cold with this alchemy shit? Especially that nigga Ed. That nigga Ed is fucking cold. Why didn't niggas tell me about this anime sooner, my nigga? Hold on, let me catch my breath for a second. Before this video, I got something way different I wanna try out. And since this is Edward, one of the coldest niggas in alchemy, I gotta ask this question. Am I glazing? And yes, random viewer in the back who's raising their hand politely. Yes, I did ask, am I glazed? But now let me explain why I asked that. I'm gonna talk about 3 different fights this nigga Ed had, be it win, lose, or draw. And by the end of this video, I'm gonna tally up all the fights to truly see if I overly glaze him or not. But fuck all that, let's get into this shit. So first fight you got on the chopping block is that nigga Ed versus Father Canelo. And it wasn't even really a fight. That nigga Father Canelo is a bum. So now let me explain why this nigga's a bum. So after Ed and Al find the lead on a Philosopher's Stone, they end up going to a city where people are praising a nigga for creating quote unquote miracles. But Ed and Al already know this nigga's bullshit. So they go to confront that nigga. But they end up getting ambushed by a couple of his men. But they was lunch meat, so they ain't been nothing to them. And so now Father Canelo comes out popping his shit. Really feeling himself, talking mad shit.
By God, if it isn't the Full Metal Alchemist himself, I welcome you little niggas into the house of God. And I am dearly sorry for these dumb fucks attacking you. But have you 2 young men come to learn the word of God?
Nah, Cornello, we just come to ask you about your phony ass miracles.
And what do you mean by that, son? Because this right here is nothing but a miracle of God.
Nigga, that's just second-rate alchemy trying to push as miracle. But the thing that's fucking me up is how are you doing it? And I know exactly how. A Philosopher's Stone.
Son, this is nothing but a miracle from God. And what you're speaking right now is the devil.
Nigga, stop trying to sell me that bullshit. If you just gonna keep going on and on about this bullshit, I'm gonna have to snatch that shit out your hand myself.
Well, I guess a heathen like you won't understand a damn thing, huh? Rose, baby?
Yes?
Shoot that nigga.
Huh? So after a whole bunch of back and forth, Rose ends up popping the fuck out of Alphonse. Father Canelo said enough is enough, and he ends up sinking his lion chimera at that nigga Ed, which we know that nigga Ed putting easy work on that shit. And so Father Canelo decides, hey, he's gonna transmute a whole machine gun and shoot these niggas. But Ed and Al are on point. They got to running off on his ass and shit. And so after they got away, Ed comes up with a plan to fuck over Canelo. Like, how does your dumb ass fall for this shit? What's up, Cornello? You know, all you gotta do is tell me what we wanna know, and I'll get up out of your hair quick as hell. And we don't gotta get the military niggas involved either.
Alright, little nigga, you win. What the hell you wanna know?
Nigga, what happened to your accent from earlier? Never mind that. I just wanna know why you're using the Philosopher's Stone to trick these niggas with that phony ass alchemy.
These dumbasses will believe anything. All I'm doing is just trying to build an army. With using the Philosopher's Stone, it's easy as hell to trick these dumbasses. All I have to do is bide my time and wait for more dumbasses to believe me, so I can finally take over this country. Hey, little nigga, if you just keep this shit on a hush-hush, I could break you off a piece. Little nigga, what you laughing for?
Now I'm just laughing at how much of a dumbass you are.
Oh shit!
And so after Father Canelo made a complete fool of himself, he tried to up-blick on that nigga Ed again, but Ed was on point this time. He sliced the gun and got up out of there. Father Canelo tried to transmute one more time, but he ended up getting rebounded by his own Philosopher's Stone. And so he decides to turn himself into a monster, looking like he took a little bump of venom, but that still wasn't no problem for that nigga Ed. So he decides to transmute part of the statue into a big ass fist and knock that nigga Cornello on his ass, beating the fuck out of him. But in the end, he still couldn't get the Philosopher's Stone. But we don't get no fuck about that. Throw one up on that board for my nigga Ed. But let's get to this next fight.
Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist.
Alright, so the second fight we got is Ed versus Slicer. And how we ended up in this situation is crazy. So after Ed and Al sneak into the 5th laboratory to search for more answers on the Philosopher's Stones, they end up getting ambushed by 2 guards that were guarding the laboratory. But we ain't gotta worry about my nigga Al. That nigga putting in easy work. But Ed, on the other hand, he's in a little trouble. Y'all got the joke? Y'all said that shit ain't been funny? Alright, I'm gonna be over here. Big ass creepy building with a transmutation circle in the middle. Yeah, this has gotta be where they making these Philosopher's Stones.
Damn, little nigga, you smart as hell. You figured all that shit out by just looking at it.
Nigga, I'm like that, so it's not gonna take that long for me to figure it out. But the real question is, nigga, who is you?
I'm just a nigga guarding this place from nosy ass people, aka you. But if you really want a name, just call me 48. And please don't try to take this shit personally.
And you don't try to take it personally after I kick your ass.
Kick my ass. I'd like to see you try, little nigga.
Yo, what the f? And after that, they started banging out. Flashing swords back and forth, getting busy and shit. Until Ed gets the upper hand and kicks him away. But when he did that, he figured something out. The whole time, this nigga is hollow inside. And so now that he reveals that his name is Slicer, and that he's a criminal that got his soul put into a suit of armor. And so after a bunch of dialogue, Slicer reveals his blood seal. And Ed is asking, why is you doing that? And then this nigga Slicer decides to say, it gives him more of a challenge if he shows it. Cause if he didn't, it wouldn't be worth the hunt.
This nigga is crazy.
And after that, they got back to banging it out. While they were in the midst of getting at it, that nigga Ed prosthetic fucked up on him. But he's still getting at it, ducking, dodging, and weaving and shit. But Slicer ain't no joke. That nigga really got the bitches. He really fucking that nigga Ed up. But don't ever bet against that nigga Ed. Cause my nigga Ed hit Slicer with a smooth ass pump fake. Had that nigga breaking his neck and shit. And he finally got the upper hand and beat that nigga. And now Ed got his head trying to get some information out of him and shit. But it turns out that it's 2 niggas in that suit instead of 1. And he ends up sneaking the fuck out that nigga Ed. And now we got another reveal that it was Slicer's brother. And that he got his soul put into a suit of armor too. too. Like all this information is fucking my head up. But let's continue. And so after that was revealed, they got to round 2. And the brother was really fucking him up. Got my dog back against the wall thinking he about to die. Until he gets a shonen protagonist realization and proceeds to hit this nigga with the nastiest dismantle ever. Finally winning, clutching up a 2v1. But I don't want to talk about what happened after cause fuck that nigga Envy. But throw another one up on that board for my nigga. Now that we got that out the way, let's get to this last fight.
Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist.
Alright, so last fight we got is Ed vs Greed. And I'm ready for the shit, so let's not waste no time. So after Ed and I went to go see Izumi to think about ways to go get their bodies back, they wasn't aware of niggas in the shadows making plans of their own. So some time goes by when my nigga Al was outside cleaning and shit, until he gets a note telling them to meet up somewhere. And when he got there, they was trying to convince him to come with them. But that nigga Al wasn't going for that. So is y'all the niggas who sent me this creepy ass note? Whoa, little nigga, you making it seem like we some freaky ass niggas. But yes, we did send you that note. The note did say I have some information, so what is it? And I got the information. All you gotta do is come with us, little nigga. My teacher told me to never go with strangers.
Wait, how old is you?
14.
I say you're old enough to make decisions on your own.
I knew y'all were some freaky ass people.
Little nigga, we are not. We just want you to make decisions on your own.
Well, I decided to get the information out of y'all after I beat y'all ass. Simple as that. And after that, my nigga Al ends up getting kidnapped. Like, damn, y'all always gotta kidnap niggas to get information? Like, sit down, have a conversation or something. Always just going to kidnap. But let's get back to it. So when he gets there, he meets Greed and finds out that the people who kidnapped him are chimeras, and that Greed is a homunculus. But they wasn't getting the information they needed out of Alphonse, so they went to go get the answer from Ed himself. But when he found out they kidnapped his brother, he wasn't going for it at all. So after he kicked the lizard nigga's ass, he's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. So Greed tells him he's just trying to figure out how to transmute a soul and shit, and then started saying shit about that nigga Al's body. And that was that nigga Ed's last straw. He started going the fuck off. So they decided to go and attack this nigga. But y'all gonna listen to me when I say that nigga Ed is like that, because he dealt with his likey like he ain't been shit. But Greed didn't like that, so he decided to handle that nigga himself. And Ed was really trying to hit this nigga with combos and shit. Greed was treating his combos like he ain't been nothing, blocking and dodging. But Ed couldn't get past his ultimate shield. And he was really trying everything, even hit this nigga with a Hurricane Rana. But it still didn't do anything to this nigga. And this is where shit really got serious.
Damn, little nigga, that hurt. You trying to kill me? You could really hurt somebody if you do it like that.
That's what I was trying to do, bitch ass nigga.
But I'm glad I got my healing powers, cause you want ruthless ass little nigga. But you won't beat me, so let's just make a deal, little bro.
Bitch ass nigga, you ain't my brother.
You one stubborn ass little nigga. Thinking like that, you gonna lose your brother.
Nigga, I ain't losing shit. All I gotta do is just beat your ass.
Sorry for making it seem like you got a chance, little nigga. I'm gonna let you know one thing though. I've been holding back. I really didn't want to use my whole ultimate shield because it'd be covering up my sexy ass face. But I told you before, little nigga, you not winning, so just give up.
Now my nigga Ed on the ground leaking this shit. But my nigga Ed still not giving up. Hitting this nigga with a smooth ass uppercut. Then this nigga Greed proceeds to palm this nigga face and slam him against the wall. Like, nigga, you disrespectful as hell. And then this nigga proceeds to pick him up by his neck, yoking his ass up. But this nigga Ed was plotting this whole time because he hit this nigga with some alchemy and then punching him, shattering his ultimate shield. Then he dodged him, hit him with some alchemy again, flipped away and hit his ass with some rock spikes. And you're probably wondering how this nigga Ed is doing this. And it's simple as hell. This nigga Ed is just using alchemy on his ultimate shield to fuck him up. He can't use both his healing and his ultimate shield at the same time. And it was a stalemate until Izumi came in there fucking shit up. And it was about to be a 2v1, but this nigga Greed decided to run off on their ass. But we all know what happened to that nigga Greed, so we ain't gotta talk no more about that. I still feel like that nigga Ed won, even though it's a technicality. Fuck it. Throw one more up on that board. And I'm counting 1, 2, 3. 3 wins for my nigga Ed. And so that means at the end of the day, that nigga Ed is still the best alchemist of all time. And I'm not glazing either. But I'm gonna end the video here. And I'm trying to keep this outro short, so I got 2 things to say. First, shout out that nigga Tony for this recommendation. I appreciate that, my nigga. And secondly, I'm trying to figure out a better schedule so I can upload more than once a month, because I want to upload more for y'all. But other than that, if y'all got any other recommendations, just put them down below. And with all that being said, I love you all, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all.
Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. I got Reese's Puffs in my bowl. Now my days on cruise.